Today we are going to be covering how to frame out your shower in a bathroom, as well as our little tips and tricks to finish off around the sliding door and the wheel wells.
Yes, we're going to be talking about stuff that is working on the van build, stuff that is not working on the van build, because that happens sometimes, and answer some Q&As that you guys have about bathrooms and other parts of van building.
And today's video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Tail wagging good. Our 1.5-year-old is obsessed with the show right now.
Go Dog Go on Netflix. I don't know.
So many songs stuck in my head. You're a parent?
I was actually keeping me up. Not even our baby was keeping us up. The songs in my head.
If you can relate,
nightmares.
drop it in the comments down below. Any recommendations also. All right, so I'm getting ready to put the bathroom into this van. This is a wet bath. This is our standard wet bath that we built with steel studs. We built our first bathroom like this 3 years ago in our first camper van. It was actually my father-in-law's idea to use steel studs or steel channels. He was a custom home builder for 40 years, had a ton of obviously construction experience. When we looked at how we wanted to frame something out in this, he suggested using the steel studs versus wooden 2x4s to frame this out. And it's been an excellent way for us to frame out these bathrooms in 12 of our vans. It's going to be the 13th bathroom that we've done. And I think if you've seen online, there's a lot of people that have built this same wet bath design since us 3 years ago, which is really cool. And one of the reasons that so many people have is because we have put together a step-by-step tutorial on how to frame this out in our van layout guide program. Because we saw when we were selling this van layout guide at the beginning, it was just like dimensions of benches and countertops and that sort of stuff. But one of the biggest questions people had was how to build out and frame out this bathroom. So with this, I've done my center lines, I've done all of the prep work for it. Now this one's a little bit different because we actually basically cut all of the pieces for this shower, and we had it in our last van before we sold it to Battleborn to build it out for them, and they did not want a bathroom or a shower in their van because of the way they were using it and just the size and what they wanted to fit in there with a second seat as well. So we actually just took the whole thing out, saved it, and now I'm able to put this in piece by piece. Everything's already cut for me. And again, in the van layout guide, you get a full cut list of everything that you need in order to put this together in a step-by-step process how. So I'm going to take you guys in the van and I'm going to show you how I'm actually putting this together. So in the van, one of the first things I'm going to do is make sure that I am running square to my center line so that my bathroom is being built square. Now the base pieces for the bathroom are 28 inches long, but essentially how I'm laying it out is I'm measuring from my center line. 6.5 inches is where that shower is going to start from my center line. So I'm measuring on both sides 6.5 inches. It's a 45-inch from front to back shower. And that includes the 1/2-inch walls on either end. So my framing is really 44 inches from end to end. And I've marked that out with Sharpie on the floor. So it makes it really easy for me to put these first two pieces down and then start to build both of my end walls from there. So we've talked a lot about framing out the shower in this video. This is a little bit different than the one we showed you in our van. This is our client's van. This is how I would frame it out if I was not doing a built-in toilet. With this one, they're just going to have a cassette toilet that they will set in the shower and then take it out when they are showering. So this is a 24 by 32 inch shower pan. This is a center drain shower pan. With these, you can get them in a left drain, a right drain, or a center drain. Now this is important because there are support frames that run underneath your vehicle, whether you're in a ProMaster, a Sprinter, or a Transit. So making sure that you actually lay out where you want to have your bathroom and where the drain would be for the shower to check and make sure that you don't have any frame structures in the way. With this one, on both the left and the right shower drains, I had stuff in the way, so I had to go with the center drain for this one. Again, we're using galvanized steel channels or studs. I prefer to use just the channels, not the studs, because they fit together better, and because you're framing all of this out and attaching all of this plywood. Structurally, you don't need the studs in order for this to be, you know, super strong and durable. There's 1/2-inch birch plywood that wraps as the skin on the outside of this. These are going to be the exposed walls, and then inside we'll be attaching our foam backer board inside, and we'll show that in another step later. If you have more questions about exactly how this is made, there's a very detailed blog post in our private van layout guide group. You can click the link below to find out more about that. I go through everything, kind of a step-by-step, how you build it, cut lists for the steel studs, dimensions, all of that fun stuff. So if you are interested in building a bathroom in your camper van, we try to put all the resources together to make it nice and easy for you.
So a few updates. Alex is working on getting the flooring in right now. We got the radiant heated floor down underneath.
Yeah.
And we got the bathroom in, AC unit is in, we are cruising. I'm gonna share what products we're using with the radiant heated floor, as well as the AC unit. Those in our private van layout guide community, we offer discounts to. It's not something you can purchase directly on our website, but if you're in the community, you get exclusive discounts to a lot of different products like Luminous, Battleborn, this radiant heated flooring, Dometic AC units, all sorts of fun stuff that are only exclusively in our van layout guide. So it's another little perk of joining our community. Okay, so this is our go-to flooring, Life Proof. You can buy this at Home Depot. It is a luxury vinyl plank flooring, so it essentially clicks together, gives you that waterproof barrier, and it is super resistant to, you know, like dogs and any kind of scratches. The stuff is really durable.
Beach sand, lake water, you know, all the favorite things van lifers love to trash their floors with in their van.
And typically we actually install the floor last, but this time we are installing it first because we're doing the radiant heated floor and because we're putting in the bench seat. So it makes it a lot easier to run your flooring first where your bench seat is gonna go so that you don't have to work around brackets. So that's what we're using for the actual flooring. Now this is what we are using for the radiant heated floor. It is made by a company called Warm Floor. This is like their step warm floor made for RVs. It's 12 volt, comes in this roll like this. Again, this is something we offer privately in our van layout guide community.
It is actually 12 or 24 volt, and we're running it as a 24 volt. You get more power, you get more heat if you run it as a 24 volt system. We're not running the entire battery bank as a 24 volt system, but we will step up to 24 volt to run this.
Again, I pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but we've used this in one other van and really liked it. They've actually changed their design, which I think is like even better now. So definitely like this stuff a lot. So Alex ran that in 2 strips down the middle of the van, and then that's it, right? Just 2 strips down the middle, and like some here, or no?
There's two strips, yeah.
So you can see
it. We ran 1 strip to right here, and I stopped it right here because we're going to be mounting our seat base. So you don't want to obviously mount something through it. And then the next strip you can see is running from back there and runs basically all the way up to right here.
So it'll be nice and toasty warm feet. They're 2 little boys running around. That's gonna be awesome. And then he stopped it in the back, you can see, because we have the U-bench area that we're doing. That's just storage, so no need to run it back there either. Now, Alex also put some of this underlayment to help even out the floor because this, you know, step warm floor is running down the middle. It does have a little bit of thickness to it, so just to help make everything more even, he did run this. You can just buy at Home Depot. It's just an underlayment for flooring to, again, level out the floor a little bit more so that it's not running downhill or anything like that. Alex would judge me for my footwear, but it's like 4 o'clock. Baby's napping, Vance is with grandma, so I'm gonna try to get some stuff done. We kill matted the wheel wells, and the other thing that we do to finish off wheel wells that doesn't add a lot of weight is just putting automotive carpeting on it. You can buy this stuff on Amazon in any color you want. I did want a light gray. This looked different online. It's dark gray, so we're going with it because I don't want to wait to order something else. So all you're gonna need, some spray glue, some scissors, a razor. It's a pretty simple process to do this. And again, a lot of people box off wheel wells. Ends up taking up space and adds unnecessary weight. So this is our method. Makes it look nice and finished without a lot of extra work. So I cut this oversized and I just start in the middle And you're gonna wanna do this before you run any kind of flooring inside your bench area. So let me turn this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So just spray it in the middle section, and it's pretty easy to work with this stuff, just with your hands. And you don't need that much spray glue. So again, I cut it oversized to start. Now you have the curve of the wheel well, so you can kind of figure out the way you want your crease and your fold to go in here. Typically, I like to kind of do it like that. Hopefully you guys can see this. There we go. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna cut this excess once we actually get this in place the way we want it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I am gonna come under this crease so that we get that to stay where we want it. And try not to go crazy on this part because you will have it squeeze out. And you definitely wanna make sure you got a real good pair of scissors. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end. So here is the finished result. Now you'll notice I left a little bit of fabric around the edges because we'll have the benches here covering the excess there. And then down here we'll have the flooring running right up to this, or overlapping it just a little bit, so it'll give you those nice clean lines once it's all finished off inside the bench. So I did film an explanation about this in our van, but lo and behold, Alex forgot to turn the mic on again. It is definitely hard making videos. We're getting back in the swing of it, but it's hard making videos while we're working and a little bit sleep deprived from having an infant. But anyway, so I wanted to show you this in our client's van because before I jump into showing it to you guys in our van, I wanted to show you what it looks like before. So one thing that we do here around the sliding door, a lot of people try to trim it out. We have in the past, and in my opinion, it just doesn't look that great. It's kind of funky and wonky. It's a weird space because you have all these curves and angles. So our simple solution to make this look clean, nice, and finished without seeing the metal is to carpet it. So not only do we carpet the wheel wells that I already showed you, we also carpet here around the sliding door. So now we're gonna jump into showing that to you guys in our van. So yeah, feels really good to be back in the shop, I have to say. Waylon's finally getting in a great routine. Last night, he slept the whole night without a peep. It was amazing. So, feeling good. I am still working on this. Wanted to show you guys. So once you get it cut, all you're gonna do, this is really hard to do one-handed, is peel this weather stripping back and tuck the carpeting into the weather stripping. Now over here, I just have this hanging, so I need to spray glue, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah, I like gluing it in place first before you do your final cut through here to, again, get as close to that weather stripping as you can before you tuck it in. Okay, and I'll probably cut off some of this because we don't need that much left over. That's probably going to get in the way of the cabinet. So here's what I do. Basically just come along the line of the weather stripping. So here is the finished result. Nice and clean, looking good. I gotta tuck it in still down here, but you can see you don't need to have the most straight, perfect cut to make this look really good in the end. So there you have it. Here's what we do around the door. Beautiful. The one thing I also wanted to mention, we mentioned last week, was that we were gonna replace our flooring. This like chevron herringbone pattern does not click together well, and it's already starting to separate. Yeah. We picked out new flooring. This is our client's van back behind us. Wanted to show you this flooring in here really quick. This is our go-to life-proof flooring. It is the Essential Oak. We have done this now in like 3 or 4 vans, I think.
So many, a few. Looks so good.
It is still the click plank vinyl flooring. It looks awesome, and this one is just so much more sturdy than ours is because we did that chevron herringbone pattern where that was clicking together. It's just already starting to separate, and this is like locked and loaded and solid. So we picked out a different similar style flooring, just a different color. We're going with a little bit lighter of a color scheme for our floor because we have the brown seats. But I wanted to show you guys this because yes, we picked out new flooring, and we'll show that probably in another video once we update that. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer to try something new. We like the style of it, and we've already used LifeProof and love their flooring, and now that one just sucks. Highly don't recommend using the chevron pattern.
The other thing that I would say about this chevron pattern also, flip this thing around, is that in a space this small, you couldn't really tell that it was like a herringbone pattern anyway.
Yeah.
Q&A with S&A.
Okay,
That should be the theme song.
It's time for, yeah, and we're just gonna put that in there.
For Q&A with S&A.
It's time for the Q&A. This week's Q&A is all about the bathroom, since this week's video was about the bathroom. You guys always have so many questions about the bathroom. I love it. So, first question from our van layout guide community, from Laura. What is the best space-saving tip you can give for the bathroom, and do you recommend a fan install in the ceiling?
The best space-saving tip that we can give for the bathroom is to not build a bathroom if you want a lot of space in your van.
Yes, but again, it is a functional space. We've talked about this in previous videos. If you want to be able to have essentially a tiny home on wheels and have all the comforts of home in your van, then we do highly recommend having a shower and a toilet in your van.
Yeah, it comes down to two questions. One, do you want to be able to shower inside your van? And two, do you want to be able to pee in private?
Basically, do you enjoy doing those things in private, period?
Yeah.
Or are you okay with finding toilets all the time? With COVID now, it's a little bit weird. So I do recommend putting a toilet in your van. And then do you want to shower outside randomly somewhere in your swimsuit and have people watching you? Also, that's not very feasible in the winter. So you have to ask yourself a lot of questions. What is it? What comfort level do you have being in public spaces, using the bathroom and using a shower?
Yeah, and when it comes to space saving, you know, that's really why we designed our wet bath the way that we did with the built-in toilet box. Because we overlapped the toilet box with the shower pan, we're actually saving like 16 inches of the overall footprint of the bathroom right there. So the way that we've designed our bathroom, which has been built a few times in other vans, is like an actual space saving technique.
Because the toilet actually does hang into the shower pan. I'll see if I can find the B-roll clip of my little toes underneath the toilet that we filmed way back in the day, but that is a really nice thing because you can stand comfortably and take a shower in there without bashing your toes and stuff like that on a toilet or having to take a toilet out to shower. We are all about having it as easy as possible to go to the bathroom to take a shower. So if you have 10-step process to take a shower inside your van because you have some countertop that flips up, you've got a shower in there, you got to pull a shower curtain around you, then you're showering and the shower curtain sticking to you. Realistically, you're not going to want to use that because it's going to take 10 minutes to set up and take down. You got to wipe everything down because it's going to be all wet, and that just seems like a nightmare to me. We were big on taking a quick shower every night before we went to bed.
We did every night before we went to bed in the van.
And it was easy. All we had in our bathroom was our laundry bag. So we quickly moved that out, maybe a towel, and hopped in the shower. Quick process. We still do recommend wiping down your shower walls and your toilet once you're done showering so you don't have water just sitting in there. But it was a quick, easy process. Also, if we had to pee in the middle of the night, get up, close the shower door, sit on the toilet, you've got your own little private bathroom. So
yeah, even if you're a guy, you have to sit on the toilet.
It does have a little, we'll just see if we can get a little shot of their nice sticker.
Can't really stand and pee in the urine diverting toilet.
So then this is a long-winded answer to your question, but there is a lot of this stuff that we talk about all the time that we know is really valuable for you guys to hear about. And then the second part of her question was, do we recommend a fan install in the ceiling? We always recommend a vent fan in your van, of course. Now, when it comes to the bathroom itself, you don't really need a fan in there because it's such a small space. If you're opening up your shower door after you shower and you're, again, wiping everything down, you have your vent fan running, it's gonna suck that moisture out of there.
The vent fan in this van behind us is
a foot.
12 inches away from the bathroom.
Yeah.
So.
Another question in our van layout guide community from Sarah: has anyone successfully used anything but tile in their shower? We love tile, but concerned about the weight adding up any thoughts on the vinyl adhesive tiles? Thanks.
Yeah, if you're building in a 170 extended 2500, I would not recommend doing tile because you're going to be really close to GVW with everything else that you put into a finished build with the full bath. If you're building in a 3500, you can. It's going to be able to take the weight. Even if you're building in a regular 170, because a regular Mercedes 170 has the same GVW as a 170 extended, but the vehicle itself is already heavier. We have used other things. Our go-to is FRP board. You can pick it up at Home Depot. It's got a little bit of texture on the front. It's designed for applications like this. You can buy trim for it already to go on the corners, and then you're just caulking the corners and the seams. That works really, really well, and that's been our go-to if we're not doing tile. We are looking at some other options, so we're gonna have more info on that later, but when it comes to vinyl tile, we did a vinyl peel and stick tile on the walls in our first van, and it was kind of a nightmare.
They were constantly coming off. You'd have to put a little bit more glue behind there. It's just not something we recommend. It looked nice, but functionally it just wasn't holding up very well.
Yeah, and what part of the issue is, if you're trying to put something up that has decent weight to it and is big, you got to think, no matter what glue or however you're mounting it, because it has weight itself to it as you're bouncing down the road and traveling in it, it's going to start to come off of the wall. And so when we tile, that's why we like to use the sheet tile with the mesh backing, because all of it's helping, that whole sheet is holding itself in. So like one tile can't just pop out because they're all held together in that mesh. And same thing with like the FRP board. You're putting in a giant piece of FRP board that's taking up an entire wall. So all the glue you put behind there is going to help hold that whole thing on. So just beware of anything that's bigger than 12 by 12 that has heavy weight to it. Because if it's a peel and stick or a glue-on application, I just always worry if something's too heavy, it's going to end up eventually coming off the wall.
Yeah. But yes, because we personally are building in a 170 extended and it is not the 3500, we are not tiling our bathroom. Again, that is something we recommend. If you are going to tile, you need at least the 3500 and the 170 Sprinter extended. And so we are looking at other options. We ordered some samples, so stay tuned later in the build series.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see
and
that.
And there are so many new products coming out all the time. Like, we can't even keep up with it, with what is out there now. So if you have used something that's really cool, that's worked for you, especially something that you have tested and actually experienced. And that's why I'm not going to throw 5 new things that I've seen online at you right now, because we're really big on only recommending things that we've actually used and we know are going to be durable.
Last question, this is from David, a how-to for framing the separate toilet, also venting for that, and the shower, please, thanks.
Which I actually do go over that in the van layout guide.
Yeah, maybe we should tell them, that's already
it's already in there. There's a full cut list. I explain and break down how to build that toilet box out of the same steel channels, and how to set it up, what you need to do, because there is kind of a process. You have to put the foam board on the bottom before you set the toilet box. And then there's some plywood involved, cutting the hole, all that good
if
stuff.
you are going to be using that separate toilet as a composting toilet, which a lot of people do, we do recommend putting one of those computer fans in there so you're getting ventilation in there. But if you're not doing that and you're using it solely as a number 1 only toilet, then you don't have to worry about that as much.
Poop in a bag, why would you ever try to compost?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a van is so small that it's going to stink.
It smells. People claim it doesn't, but it does.
There's an Outkast song about this.
Also, you have to clean it eventually, so why not just, poop in a bag and throw it away?
Just saying, that's what the majority of our clients do who have this van. They put a bag, there's a back compartment, you can put a bag in, you can poop in the bag, toilet paper, all of it in there. Poop in a bag.
I used to tell Alex he needs to preface the bathroom conversation, the toilet conversation with clients.
Sorry.
We're going to get real personal.
We're going to have some potty talk. So
hopefully this helped you decide what it is that you want to do in your own van when it comes to your bathroom, your shower, your toilet. So many fun things to talk about, but really truly we do feel like the design that we came up with is the most functional. You don't have to move anything. You can quickly use the toilet, quickly use the shower without any extra steps involved.
So if you feel confident in that, that is a great option. If your skill level is low and you want the simplest process, I would build it out like we did in this van, just the shower, and then use a cassette toilet.
Yep, which we have done one other time with another client, and it worked for them. So.
Yep.
that's it.
Because set toilets are minimal investments too. So if you don't want to clean it, just throw it away.
Yeah, that's
just
pretty
kidding.
wasteful.
Don't do that.
That's pretty
don't
wasteful.
do that.
Okay.
All right.
Also, we're big on, the last thing I'll say, we're big on being hands off. So with the urine diverting toilet that we use, that goes to the tank underneath the van, and then you can empty that without ever having to touch your own pee. You don't have to have a little jug that you're carrying with like the, what is the composting toilet? The Nature's Head. That little jug fills up in like one day if you're using it all the time.
Especially with the amount of water this girl drinks.
Hey. I like to keep myself hydrated. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. One of the best features about Squarespace is that everything is mobile responsive without you doing a thing. So once you go set up your website on Squarespace, it'll automatically adjust on a phone, a tablet, an iPad, whatever you're using, to be mobile responsive, mobile friendly. And you can actually go in your settings on the back end and change anything if text is too small, or you want different colors, or the menu to look differently.
But that back end is super intuitive and easy to use, so you don't need to be a coder or a web developer in order to build a really professional looking website on Squarespace for whatever your passion project is.
So if you're interested in trying out Squarespace, you can head to squarespace.com for a free 2-week trial. And when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/40 hours for 10% off your purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to like this video and subscribe, and leave any questions or comments down below. We love hearing from you guys. We really truly try our best to answer your questions. If we don't answer them directly here, we'll try to include them in the next video, especially as you guys ask a lot of the same questions. One thing I did want to mention that was a big question on our last video real quick was the seat.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people were asking about the seat. That is actually offered for sale in our Van Layout Guide community. So if you join, you will get access to that product and you can buy directly there. One of the reasons we do that is because actually the seat base is customizable. There's a little bit of back and forth communication between us and you to make sure that you're set up in the right way, so we don't offer that publicly on our website.
Plus, we offer exclusive pricing deals in our private Van Layout Guide group.
Yep, you get access to discount on battle-borne batteries, discount on Illuminess, roof racks, side ladders, bumpers.
All that fun stuff.
We've got a lot more coming up too, like the Shielman seats and...
Once we get our shop and can hire some employees, we're going to start doing a lot more stuff.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed for us. This is quite a process to actually get a shop here in Boise, Idaho. The market here is just nuts, and there is really no inventory in terms of houses and commercial spaces, and it is like the wild, wild west out here.
So hopefully we're going to have something that's going to be finished in October or November. Keep it posted.
I'm hoping earlier. They already started building.
I know, we don't have the building yet.
I know, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything.
So, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate all of you. Again, drop your questions or comments down below, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye!